Hi guys, so a little while ago I actually got to do one of my all-time dream cosplays, which was Sarah's ball gown from Labyrinth, and it looked a bit like this. Yes, I did change up some things, some people loved it, some people hated it, I don't care. I was in the love it crowd and that's what mattered to me. There was a bit of a mixed bag of comments about Labyrinth itself though. Most people did seem to love the movie like I did, but the people who loved it did tend to love it for some interesting reasons. Now don't get me wrong, I absolutely love David Bowie and Jareth is pretty damn attractive. So attractive that I actually did a quick closet cosplay of him as well. But here's the thing. One of the things that makes Labyrinth such a great movie is that the strong independent heroine, Sarah, knows how to say no. Still don't know what I'm talking about? Let's do a quick comparison. Jim Henson's Labyrinth and Stephenie Meyer's Twilight. So at first glance, Labyrinth and Twilight may not seem to have that much in common. One's about a girl rescuing her stolen half-brother from the clutches of a Goblin King, and the other one's about a vampire romance. But at the heart of both of the stories, there's a very similar theme. An ordinary teenage girl encounters a sparkly, enigmatic older man who has fallen desperately in love with them. The sparkly man stalks the girl and offers her fulfillment of her dreams while spooking her in near equal parts. At the very base of things, the only really important difference is the way that the heroines, Sarah and Bella, react to their sparkly stalker men. Twilight's heartthrob, Edward Cullen, is a couple of 100 years old. He's super strong, super fast, and super protective, possessive of the young woman he's attached himself to. So much so that he takes it upon himself to creep into her bedroom at night and watch her sleeping without her knowledge or permission. When Bella, our heroine, discovers that Edward's been sneaking into her bedroom, she's not scared or freaked out or anything like that, any normal reaction. She thinks that it's romantic. In fact, even when Edward tells Bella straight out that he's a vampire, she doesn't freak out. She goes, "That's really interesting, and it's so cool that someone that special could have taken an interest in little old me." Even when she examines the bruises that Edward leaves on her when he gets carried away and loses control of his super strength, her only reaction is to try and hide those bruises from the rest of the world so they don't find out about her creepy relationship. In order to maintain her relationship with Edward, Bella decides to literally give away her entire life. She gives up her schooling, her family, her friends in order to enter into a marriage that Edward is forcing on her. Perhaps even more concerning than the marriage though is the fact that Bella is so much more willing to turn into a vampire than to get married. The idea of putting a ring on that finger is more scary to her than changing her very being to being a blood-sucking monster. So let's switch back to Labyrinth. In Labyrinth, our sparkly heartthrob is Jareth, the king of the goblins. He's ageless and apparently all-powerful within his vast kingdom, but he also has the ability to turn into an owl and travel to our own reality. He uses this ability to stalk young Sarah, following her through her day-to-day life, as we see when she's in the park practicing the play Labyrinth, and also to watch her through the window when she's at home. Because Sarah believes the Goblin King is merely a story, she calls on him to take away her baby brother when he's getting a little too much to handle. So when Jareth does actually show up, she's suitably shocked. But even when Jareth offers her the fulfillment of all of her dreams, she knows that's less important than getting her baby brother back. Sparkle as he might, Jareth can't convince Sarah to give up her family. In a last-ditch effort to make Sarah change her mind, he spirits her away to his labyrinth and forces her to traverse all of the dangers he can throw at her in order to get her brother back. Along the way, he demonstrates his immeasurable power and even threatens her life when she belittles him. He even tries again to distract her by giving her visions of an elaborate masquerade. Even when Jareth ultimately gives himself up to her, promising to be her slave if she will only love him, Sarah stands absolutely defiant. She insists that the king of the goblins has no power over her except that which she gives him. This is why Labyrinth is so important to me. I have read all of the Twilight books. I've seen all of the Twilight movies. I'm not a massive fan, as you can probably tell, but they are an interesting piece of fluff. I would seriously hope that no parent would want their child to turn out like Bella Swan. Giving up an entire life to be with a sparkly, over-possessive partner is not something to be admired. Sarah's strength and determination, on the other hand, definitely are. It would give me the greatest pleasure to think that any young woman, when confronted with a sparkly heartthrob in her bedroom, would have no hesitation in telling that guy to clean up his glittery mess and hightail it out of there before she calls the police.